Hello and welcome to another episode of Behind the Build, and today we've got the infamous Mark 1 from Forge Motorsport in. Personally, I love this thing, having owned numerous Mark 1s over the years. So let's get Pete in from Forge to discuss it.
Morning, mate.
Nice to see you again, mate.
You too, buddy. You too. All good. All good. Thanks for inviting us along.
No problems, mate. It's good to have you here. So let's get cracking with this. Exactly what made you get a Mark 1 and build it to this sort of spec?
It just started from a bit of a concept of idea. We just wanted a track car, something for the boys to mess around in. One of the lads found a Mark 1 with some old A4 engine in it. Went for about £1,000 on eBay. We missed it. And the next thing you know, there's a 1982 Mark 1 turns up from one of the boys who knew another lad in Dursley. And it kind of just went on from there. It was something to showcase the fabrication skills initially. And then there was a new engine, a new block, integrated engineering, parts arriving. And somehow it just turned into a monster.
As with most things, it just kind of got
away with us.
So you've had this for a few years now, haven't you?
Yeah, 2012 we started on the build. Originally it was in the white and blue. It ran around SEMA in 2013. Debuted at Autosport in the January of 2013. Then it went out to Asia, was all around Asia in 2015. We got it back. We had a bit of an off on the track, and we sort of parked it up. And then this year, sort of Luke, who's sort of taken the build on, and Zach came up with maybe an idea of a new concept with the heritage to JPS, and between the two of them, this is what they came up with. We went through a lot of ideas, like we were going to do the Martini livery, and then they settled on the JPS.
Personally, I love this. I mean, the JPS is a great livery.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much heritage with JPS. When you look back at the 70s and the JPS F1 cars, and then when Luke rolled this out with all the graphics and the decals on it, it was just thought, yeah, they've nailed it. They got it right. It's absolutely spot on.
So when you started it back in sort of 2012. What exactly, did you literally just cut most of it up, and did Luke get rid of most things, and then you started from
I think they started on the engine first, you know, trying to get the power down. Where we were working with Garrett at the time on the turbochargers, and obviously then Luke and Rudy thought, how can we showcase best what we do? So we went with the intercooler in the front, and then they came up with the rear cooling system, and there were big windows and sucking in the air from the back. And then sort of the bodywork came second, with Luke hand fettling everything that we did out of aluminium. We built some fiberglass molds, and everything on the original, the blue and white one, was fiberglass bonnet, apart from the carbon roof. And then on this version, he decided to try and lose, I think it was like another 200 kilos, 150 kilos. And he went carbon bonnet, splitter, doors, I think the rear aero is carbon now.
So when you decided to obviously revamp the car, did you do any more work to the engine, or is it very similar to what you started with?
It's very similar to what we started. I think we had to do some head work, got that redone. We swapped to Leo in turbos. Lee worked some magic on the turbos, turbo. We came from the rear mount rad, cleared that out, went back into the front. Then there was some more mapping done with Omex. Luke got on the dyno, both at Litchfield and at Mac Repairs, and I think we ended up round about 480, and the boys wound it back to around about, I think it's about 280, 320, just to try and give it some more usability, and then we'll get through the winter and we'll have a look next summer and see where we're at.
So have you had it out on the track since the revamp?
Yeah, we finally managed to get out at Action Days. You know, we were up at yours hoping to get out at Players, and that didn't happen. We just ran out of time. But we got out with a little bit of anger at Action Day, gave it a right good shakedown. The boys were mightily happy with how it was. And it'd be nice just to chuck a cloth over it for the winter, and then hopefully maybe get it to the Nürburgring next year for some PR. Yeah. And we're hoping to do some stuff with KW. KW were talking about putting it on a hill climb, in a German hill climb. So if we could get out and do Nürburgring and something with KW, It'd be nice to try and give it a little bit of heritage, because I think everybody's seen it, but they're probably sick of seeing it hard parked.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to get out and use it in anger a bit.
I mean, the German hill climbs, I've been out to one of the Bird Cups, and they're amazing events.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah, we got no illusions of trying to be the fastest or whatever. To be honest, I'd be happy if it got up and back down in one piece. You know, we got people queuing up to drive it. Liam wanted to drive it. His dad, Pat Duran, wanted to drive it. Steve Putt wants to drive it. And really, I could do somebody who just wants to go shopping in it, just to get it up the top and get it back down, just in one piece. But no, we'll give it a good old lash and see where it goes.
Shall we open the bonnet and have a look?
Yeah, for sure.
So looking at the engine, Pete, I can see that you've done a ridiculous amount of work. Obviously, this is what you're famous for. This is what Forge is well known for, the kind of intercoolers, etc. Just talk us through some of the trick bits on here, if you can.
Well, it was kind of like a bit of a rinse and repeat, really. So, you know, the intercooler, we went bigger. The radiator, we went at greater capacity. As I say, we came from the rear mount to the front. That gave us, well, for one, it made the inside a lot cooler, because the boys were dying with the radiator in the back. Then it was a revamp of the intake, just trying to get as much air in as we can, smoothing out some of the pipe work, again, to, you know, get some nice transition. I mentioned the turbo getting swapped out. The boys then done a redevelopment of the blow-off valve. I mean, it's kind of what we're known for, blow-off valves, intercoolers and external waste, well, now external wastegates. So we did a bigger blow-off valve, greater displacement on that. We got a prototype fuel pressure regulator that's still on test. We did an external wastegate with the intention of trying to bring those three products into the big tuning market. You know, like the custom build stuff for the big power plant, the drag cars and whatnot. And that's all gone okay. The shakedown on that, everything's proved to be reasonable. That'll go on to production now. You know, things that we don't do, parts from integrated engineering, things like that, they just go to enhance the build, really, just to give it that top class reliability that it needs.
It looks fantastic. I mean, it is, I do love a clean engine bay, but I also do love a clean engine bay that's got a purposeful engine that looks like it's...
Yeah, I can't sort of say enough about the boys that have worked on it, really. They really do pour their soul into it. You know, Luke, Rudy, Alex, the boys that run it around all the shows. Without their expertise and their expert and their commitment to it, you wouldn't be able to build anything.
No, this is true. I mean, obviously I know, because Luke done a fair bit of work on my Mark 1 when I brought it down to you boys, and you've got all the intercooler and the pipe work sorted. So yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal bit of kit. So sort of walking around it, there's trick bits all over the place, like the diffuser, the rear end, the carbon wing. One thing I wanted to talk about was the wheels. How did they come about?
Well, again, it's through the partnerships that we've developed over the years, much like you guys, we started talking with Rotorform probably 3-4 years ago. And I've got to say, they've just supported us all the way through. So for the first version of this, we had wheels on them. They turned up at SEMA. We had a few issues there where we probably would have ended up needing to run a 4-inch spacer, which didn't quite work.
Yeah, you don't really want to be running spacers on a race car.
You know, so it came about with Rotorform. Again, it's all about Luke and his ideas of what we wanted. He wanted this retro-looking wheel. Spoke to the guys over at Rotorform, Brian, etc., and they came up and said, "Do you fancy this design?" And you know, 6 weeks later, they arrive. And once we showed them the concept of the JPS logo, you know, the gold wheels just fit. They're nice. They're lightweight, and sticking the Toyo, the rubber on them, they just work well. Again, another good hookup with Toyo.
Yeah, I think even though this is a race car, I think even in the tuning scene nowadays, the whole big tyre scene is definitely the way it's going, which is good. Purposeful cars being driven properly, which I like. And with regards to wheels, I'm going to blow my own trumpet because I came up with that design.
Was it?
Yeah, I sent an idea to Brian for my 240Z.
Yeah.
And the guys over there came up with this design, so you can thank me for that.
Thank you very much, mate.
No problems, mate.
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a look inside.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to pull the door off. For the old carbon fibre doors.
What gearbox are we running now? Is it, you did have a sequential in there, is that gone now?
Yeah, we ran the Quay for a little while, and then the boys decided they wanted to get back to just a regular 6-speed VW box. For what we were doing, we just needed something that was totally bulletproof. We popped that in, it's been rock solid. We've got a CAE shifter. Luke needed to change a few subtle changes to that for what we needed, but so CAE shifter, the big billet handbrake lever. Cobra, we've been working with those boys for years. They originally sent some nice slim seats down, but with the ambitions of putting a fat lad in it like me at some point, they managed to make these big ass wings for my big ass.
Yeah, I was going to say, no offense, but slim seats and you and Zach.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen,
so
is it?
the slim boys can get in, but then they can lube it up, and the fat lads can get in and have a bit of fun as well, and in the seats. Omec's done the ECU. They've been fantastic, backwards and forwards, sort of offering custom support with that. There's a lad called Guy Higgs who works for Omec's. He's been working with Luke really hard on the rollers. Got a big up Ian Litchfield at Litchfield Motors for his support on his dyno as well.
It's actually quite quiet. I mean, I know we're not...
Yeah, it's not too bad actually.
The joys of turbo motors. I love how far you sit back in it as well.
Yeah. Well, we had to. It was all built around Pete being able to fit in it.
Yeah.
So all the seat runners and everything cut out and moved back. It's the same as Zach's Mark 1. They had to cut all the seat runners in and then move it back again.
It's like Hightower out of
Yeah, it is
Police
quite
Academy.
Hightower.
I do love a CAE shifter.
amazing,
They're
isn't it?
amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are so good.
It makes a world of difference to it. But yeah, when we had that crate box, we split open, cracked
Yeah.
it.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just drive down the A12 in it and see how far we get.
We've always talked about driving it to Worthesy.
Clutch isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
The thing that's heavy on it is the steering and the brakes.
Has it got power steering?
No power steering, no power brakes.
I mean, I don't know what you'd think coming round a bend and seeing this coming towards you. I mean, at low revs, it drives like a normal car. But you can feel it just wanting to be... Yeah, you can just... It's like it's dying to go fast.
It's not running on any boost.
Oh! My God! Yeah. That's third gear.
Wants to chew you up and spit you out.
Yeah, you can. It's got a wave track as well, isn't it? Yeah. So you've got to be bang on it.
Yeah. Luke, when he comes out, he's knackered after every 15-minute section at action day because you've just got to fight with it all the time.
Yeah. Nice. It's amazing what not a huge amount of power, but in such a light car can do.
It's monstrous. I've only ever driven it once on circuit, and that was at Linden Hill.
Yeah.
And that was when it had the quafe in it, so I was a bit shy going round. But it is, like going out with Luke in it, it's ferociously quick.
Yeah.
But you've just got to be committed to driving it.
Yeah, you know that on the bench you've got to constantly be on it. Yeah.
racetrack.
Yeah.
That is for sure. I mean, I'm literally touching the throttle. I'm quite shocked at just how potent it is.
Yeah. It's been designed to bounce at so low down power.
Yeah.
So you've not got massive, then bang bang. It is just instantaneous.
Oh, you can feel it coming on boost
Yeah.
so quick.
You can hear it as well.
Yeah. But you can also feel how nice it turns in and everything.
It's just it's built and designed well.